If your agency hasn't really changed how to build ad creative since Andromeda Meta's new machine learning system, then honestly, you should probably rethink working with them. And I know that sounds harsh. It's not because they don't work hard, or it's just that they are operating with a way of thinking that, well, it doesn't really exist anymore. All right, quick intro, just so you know where I'm coming from. My name is Stefano. I'm the co founder of Cosma. And over the last 6 months, my team and I we spent more than $20 million across Meta and Google Ads for e-commerce brand. And during that same time, we've been deep in distribution, like really deep. We have created and tested hundreds of performance creative, UGC style, any kind of content, short form videos, static ads, full funnel credit system, you name it. Every single month, we only does know how the account spending anywhere from $10,000 to over $500,000 per month. So yeah, so I can talk about this with confidence. We actually see what is going on every day, and honestly, across most of ad account we audit, we keep seeing the same exact thing. Account structures that haven't really been touched in years. Campaign logic like completely frozen in time. Creative strategies built for an old version of Meta, which is a version that just doesn't exist anymore. And in a lot of cases, the setup looked like almost identical to what agencies were running back in 2020 or 2021. The same static ads, a couple of videos with slightly different hooks, all tested across a mess of interests, lookalikes, and multi-step retargeting campaign. This doesn't exist anymore. And that's why performance feel inconsistent. And lately, it's just getting worse. And when that happened, the same explanation always came up. Oh, it's just meta update, or it's a tracking problem, maybe it's an attribution problem. If you're being honest for a second, that's not what actually is killing performance. What really kills performance is the lack of a real system behind those ads. It's random credit testing with no clear direction. It's inconsistent messaging that confuses people instead of guiding them. It's campaigns that don't work together, and probably the reality that is a deep misunderstanding of how real people actually make buying decisions. Yeah, that approach might work a few years ago, but today is killing your growth. And that's exactly why after Andromeda rolled out, everyone started repeating the same line. We need more creative differentiation. And sure, on the surface, that sounds right. But there is a problem. Most people don't actually understand what does it mean. They think differentiation means changing hook or swapping the creator or adding the same video again and again and again. This is not differentiation. This is just variation. Meta did rebuild Andromeda to reward tiny tweaks. It rebuilt everything to reward functional differences, ads that do different jobs, ads that work at different moments, ads that match different stages of the buyer's journey. And if your agency doesn't get that, then yeah, optimizing details instead of fixing the entire system. Andromeda massively increased Meta's computing power and changed how ads are delivered. The system now understands the meaning, not just how an ad looks, but what actually it says. It understands the context and the connect behavior over the time. It understands what ad or content someone saw today and probably what they're doing right now. And this is the biggest shift. Before Andromeda, Meta start a video ad and try to find people. Now Meta instead start with the person and looks at the behavior, their intent and the situation. And then it chooses the ad that fits the exact moment. So instead of forcing everyone through one rigid funnel, Meta builds those personalized micro journeys. And that's why all the account structures don't work anymore. They were built to have one ad working that makes all the sales and support the whole journey. That's why now you need to focus more on the current situation of the people inside that funnel. Some people, they don't even know they have a problem. Some feel the problem, but they don't know the solution. Some other knows the option, but they don't trust your brand yet. And some others already know your product. And yet others are ready to buy right now. And that's what most agencies completely miss. If your creative library doesn't cover all those stages, Meta literally has nothing useful to show. And when Meta doesn't have direct creative, deliver just nothing. That's why it is inconsistent. You don't get good result from it. But here is the solution. The awareness level, unaware, problem aware, product aware, and most aware are not theory anymore. They begin your structure. Let's break it down properly. So unaware as is where everything starts. Those people don't think they have a problem yet. They're just probably scrolling. So if you show them a product or like offer, it feels very random and probably annoying. That's why our ads sell through a story. They show like a moment or like situation, a feeling, something that makes the person stop and think, wait, that's me. That's how you open the loop. For example, the classic BSL ads or found the story ads or even something super long, like 10 minutes long. And that's why most agencies never propose those kind of ads. Then you move into a problem aware ads. Now the bears feels the frustration. They know something is off, but they don't know what fix it. So problem aware ads don't pitch solution. They name the pain clearly. They articulate the frustration better than the person can themselves. And when someone watches those ads, they think, oh, finally someone gets it. And then comes solution aware ads. Now the person knows there are solutions, but they don't know which one actually works. And this is where real differentiation happens. This is where you explain the unique mechanism. For example, the classic old way versus the new way, or the ads that start with why my solution fails is a solution that solves your problem. So they need to be simple, clear, and mostly we can say educational. After that, we move into product aware ads. And the people that are going to see those kind of ads already knows that your product exists. They've seen you before. They're curious, but still are not buying yet. Because here, your job is not persuasion yet. It's more about building proof that your product works. In this case, you will need proof ads, reviews ads, testimonial ads. You will need a lot of UGC content. That's why UGC content are very important. So you need to handle the objection your potential customer might have and create ads around it. So you're like answering to the question, does this actually work for people like me? And then finally, we move into the most aware ads. In this case, the people that will see those kind of ads are ready to buy. They don't need any more convincing, probably they're seeing testimonial, everything that they need to see. They just need clarity, like an offer, a final push, and a reason to act now. And the classic example for these ads are like study ads with a discount. And now here is the part that most brands are missing. Those levels are not random, they're sequential. People move through them in order. And Meta is constantly trying to guide the people from step one into the next. If your other account is filled with only products and offer ads, like 99% of other account does, probably Meta has nothing to show to 70-80% of people. That's why performance feel very inconsistent. And scaling became super hard in this case. That's why you need to apply awareness levels to your strategy. It's not anymore a copywriting thing anymore or just theory. This is probably the real solution to the new Andromeda update. Because now Meta machine learning system is always asking one question. What should this person see next? And if your heads don't answer that, Meta cannot build any kind of journeys. So we can say that Andromeda didn't break advertising. It exposes outdated systems. And if your agency is still guessing, still rotating ads randomly, still using old structures, then yeah, they're not adapting. They're just falling behind. And I can say that the future of paid social belongs to the brand with clear system, strong structure, and a full awareness coverage. And if your agency isn't pushing this kind of change after Andromeda, well, probably you already know what to do next.